Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to today's explainer. We're going to unpack something that is honestly deeply frustrating, yet so incredibly common. I'm talking about that sinking feeling of being constantly ignored, right? Today, we're breaking down 5 specific habits that might actually be the exact reason people are tuning you out. You know the exact feeling I'm talking about, right? Picture this, you're at a dinner party. You get to the absolute perfect punchline of your best story and crickets. Literally, nothing. Someone immediately asks to pass the salt. Or maybe you're sharing an idea in a meeting and you suddenly realize the person you're talking to is entirely glazed over. Look, we all know human beings thrive on healthy relationships. It makes us happier. But when it feels like your words are just constantly falling on deaf ears, man, it is incredibly puzzling and deeply, deeply isolating.
So if you find yourself asking, why am I constantly being ignored on a regular basis? Well, first off, I want you to know right off the bat that this isn't some harsh critique. No way. Instead, we're going to use this explainer as a gentle mirror. Because the truth is, sometimes the very reason people are tuning us out is actually due to our own self-sabotaging blind spots. You know, those little habits we don't even realize we have.
Section 1. The invisible feeling.
Let's talk about the emotional toll here, because it's real. Humans naturally thrive on connection. So when you're in an environment where you are constantly getting ignored, it doesn't just annoy you. It actually has a profound negative impact on how you view yourself. It actively damages your self-esteem, especially when you are completely in the dark as to why it keeps happening. But, and this is key, it is absolutely vital we approach this with awareness and zero judgment. The goal here is strictly to help you spot possible reasons people might brush you off, not to put you in a bad light, okay? So, having said that, let's uncover the first major habit.
Habit number 1, dominating the conversation.
And this brilliantly illustrates a really common trap. Now, you might be someone who just has a whole lot to share, or perhaps you genuinely think that carrying the conversation takes the pressure off the other person, but constantly taking the floor and talking about yourself shows a lack of concern for their point of view. A good conversation is a two-way street. It's giving and taking. If you want a listening ear, you have to offer that exact same listening ear to others. Monopolizing the airwaves, even if you are doing it out of pure innocent excitement, gives off the completely wrong impression and frankly pushes people right out the door.
Moving on to habit number 2, criticism and negativity.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. Are you someone who always wants the absolute best for your close friends and family? And because of that, you frequently point out their mistakes? Honestly, it's a truly admirable and caring mentality. You just want them to succeed. But yeah, there is a catch. Focusing only on those mistakes kind of isolates you. People start seeing you as a harsh critic, and they'll eventually tune you out, totally regardless of your best intentions. Now, I'm not saying you should just let loved ones make disastrous choices. Measured criticism is great for growth, but the secret sauce here, you absolutely must mix in genuine compliments and encouragement to soften the blow.
So the crucial point is really understanding emotional contagion. Have you ever noticed the glass half empty syndrome? Like, are you constantly complaining about the weather, the traffic, or your boss? Well, studies show that people avoid negativity at all costs because emotional contagion is very, very real. Negativity actively drags down other people's moods and their overall well-being. If you're constantly negative, people are going to tune you out simply as a defense mechanism, just to protect their own mental peace. So it might be time for a quick reality check to ensure you aren't accidentally the primary source of dark clouds in your social group.
Section 3 brings us to internal struggles, confidence, and overthinking.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it addresses those moments when you feel ignored from the very second you meet someone new. They don't even know you yet, so it literally can't be your conversational habits, right? Well, science tells us that people naturally tend to be attracted to and pay far more attention to those who display high levels of confidence. If your body language screams invisible, people will, unfortunately, treat you as invisible. Confidence creates this magnetic first impression, so taking steps to increase your visible confidence, like actively taking up space, making solid eye contact, is absolutely crucial to making sure your presence is actually felt when you walk into a room.
And then there is the trap of overthinking what you're going to say. It's like a literal mental traffic jam. Do you consider yourself quiet in group settings? What usually happens is first, you overanalyze your thought. Next, you hesitate to speak. And while you're battling it out in your head, the conversation moves way faster than you anticipated. And suddenly, boom, your window to speak completely closes. Because you're participating so intensely inside your own mind, you actually speak much less than you realize. And to the outside world, this intense internal focus just looks like you're bored or totally disinterested. So they simply stop trying to engage with you.
Let's move to and see how this builds into our most important takeaway. It's not always you. We've looked at the habits and we've dug into the psychology, but there is a deeply comforting silver lining to all of this. You can only control your own behavior, not other people's. Doing the things we've talked about today, talking a bit too much out of excitement, wanting to help through criticism, or just getting stuck overthinking, none of that makes you a bad person. It really doesn't. And honestly, there is always a chance that the people ignoring you are simply just not interested, and it's nothing more than a basic personality mismatch. So here is your action plan. You do not need to change who you are to win over people who are fundamentally uninterested in forming a relationship with you. That is just a losing game. Instead, refine your communication where you can, and then completely redirect your energy toward people who actually listen, who engage with you, and who genuinely care for you.
We hope this explainer has given you some valuable insight into those sneaky little habits that might cause people to tune you out. But as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final, lingering thought. Are you actually engaging in self-sabotaging habits, or are you just trying so hard to be heard by people who simply aren't your people? Take these insights, apply them to your daily life, and start building those mutually supportive relationships you truly deserve. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.